SEC on ESPN. They're the big cat on the corner. It's the Missouri Tigers bringing their unblemished SEC leading record into Reed Arena to take on the Aggies of Texas A&M. Missouri has pounced on most of their opponents, and the Tigers are a perfect 9-0 in league play. However, history tells us Texas A&M could hand them their first SEC loss. Aggies have won the last 4. She is day to day, but they hope to have her back in the lineup soon. No panic, though, for the Tigers, as they'll just lean on their SEC Player of the Week in Alyssa Munlin.
Yeah, usually this Missouri offense is very balanced, but you're right. They're going to have to go to Alyssa Munlin a little bit more in that middle. And during the offseason, she had a stress fracture. She wasn't able to really practice and get going until late summer, but now she's hitting her stride. That's why she's the SEC Offensive Player of the Week, and she's also been able to put up huge blocks, over 2 blocks per set over the last weekend. So it's not just what she's doing offensively lately. Defensively at the net, her physicality has really been helpful for the squad.
And the Missouri Tigers and Texas A&M coming up. We'll be back with First Serve just after these messages. Missouri Tigers play at 9-0 coming into Reed Arena, taking on Texas A&M. And as these two teams get set to take the court, and First Serve is on the way, Maria, when you're looking at what's going to be the difference and the keys for both of these teams, what are they?
I think for Missouri, it's definitely balance, especially with Melanie Crow out, who leads the team in kills per set this season. How can you find a way to get the right sides and the middles going? And that's going to depend on Carly Kahn and Alexa Etheridge in the back row. For 3 rotations, they are the only 2 back there passing. So can they build consistency? And for Texas A&M, just on the other side of that, disruptive serving, getting that Missouri offense off balance and using their right side attack to their advantage. Carly Kahn's going to be in the front row trying to block that right side attacker a lot. They will have the size advantage. Can you get the ball to your right side? Can you get it to Larson? Can you work that mismatch a little bit in this game?
The Missouri Tigers are led by their head coach, Wayne Kreklow, been with the program since 2012 season as the head coach. He and his wife swapped out those duties and averaged 20 wins ever since 2000 between the 2 co-coaches. On the other side, Lori Corbelli in her 24th season, the longest tenured coach here on Texas A&M's campus, was pushed to 5 sets by Georgia on Friday, where her Aggies picked up the win, and she picked up her 600th career win, 500th with the program. Missouri Tigers bringing in a 13-match win streak into College Station as things are underway. Stephanie Ipley quickly sets Caitlin Blake in the middle, giving chase forward and a free ball over from Etheridge. Once more, this time Reeser, the lefty, from the right side. And too strong from Kira Larson as Texas A&M off to a good start. The Aggies coming in at 12-7 on the season, sitting 4th in the SEC at 6-2. Caitlin Blake, the sophomore middle blocker, on the serve. So dangerous, we'll call her name a ton. And already pumped up are the Texas A&M Aggies, out to a quick 2-0 lead.
Great block by Ashley Reeser, really just staying ahead of the play. And this is a Missouri team that sides out very well because they pass so well. So that was a good play by the Aggies.
And that one in the deep pocket, just inside the end line from Larson as she trots back to serve. Larson, who transferred in from Nebraska a couple of seasons ago, the redshirt junior. With a perfect serve there, the service ace quickly ties it up at 2 apiece.
And Kira Larson, she's one of those middles that likes to go behind, but not only that, she jump serves. So it's a quick float. It dies right in front of you. It really challenges passers to get out ahead of the play.
Missouri, a team known to serve very aggressively, and it works to their advantage. Sets them up, and Kahn just outside the end line. Carly Kahn, though, the senior outside hitter, a lot will be on her shoulders tonight as Melanie Crow, as we mentioned, is out with concussion-like symptoms. So She, along with Sydney Deacon, are the outside hitters for the Tigers.
And when we say more is on her shoulders, we mean in passing and defense, every single phase of the game for Carly Kahn, because she touches the ball so many times as that first contact with the pass through that play.
Ipley quickly and met by Kahn at the net. That's one of the concerns for Wayne Kreklow, is how well Carly Kahn would play at the net this time. It's the Tigers who end up on the positive side. It's tied at 3 apiece.
And as Carly goes back to serve, you can kind of see she's going to use shots. She tried to roll the first ball. It went out of bounds. Then she uses the block. Every time she's in front row, look for her to use different shots.
The senior out of Honolulu, Hawaii, has meant so much to this team. Great dig there by Riley Sentz. And just not able to keep the rally going are the Tigers. Well, this is a Texas A&M team coming in, having surprised many last season, winning the SEC, looking to do it again as they were picked in the coach's preseason poll to repeat. But the Missouri Tigers have looked sharp early on in the first half of conference play.
Well, you're right. And again, this is a team that usually has Melanie Crow playing on the outside, leading the team's offense from that pin. But what they have is just a lot of balance, and they resemble that 2013 team. The biggest difference, obviously, setting with Molly Kreklow gone and graduated from the team.
During that season, the Tigers won the SEC title, and there, great play at the net from Emily Thader. Welcome into College Station, the Missouri Tigers putting their perfect 9-0 SEC record on the line. However, Texas A&M has had their number the last 4 matches, winning them. So the Tigers looking to pull out a win on the road. Meanwhile, Texas A&M hoping to pull off the upset in this 2016 SEC play. The last time Missouri actually beat Texas A&M was back in October of 2013. Kahn and her crew hoping to change that, and well, for Texas A&M, they're just looking to play spoiler.
And you know, there's some teams that just have your number every now and then, and Texas A&M has always been that team for Missouri. And what we've already seen early in this match is the way that the long rallies have gone in favor of the Aggies. And then you see plays like this. I mean, just a one quick tough serve or one quick block that gets a good answer and keeps the crowd involved here in Reed Arena.
Credit Amy Nettles with the service ace for A&M, but Missouri coming right back down by 2 here in this first set. Tigers with the 13-match win streak on the line. And out of the middle is Caitlin Blake. You've got to look out for her at all times. The sophomore middle blocker can play a couple of positions, middle blocker and opposite. She's gone back and forth between those positions last year. And Coach Corbelli said simply, she's just a beast at the net.
Yeah, 16 kills, hit over 500 against Georgia in that 5-set win. Couldn't have got that victory without Caitlin Blake showing up offensively. We know what she can do, blocking and her physicality, but what she's also been adding as of late is that offense that the Aggies need.
2 great young middle blockers on both sides, and both in the sophomore class. Blake for Texas A&M and Munlin for the Tigers.
And coming into the match, our key player was Kiara McGee, and whether or not she gets going, but a good block early from Alyssa Munlin, closing out to the pin and trying to shut down that outside hitter as Ipley goes right back to her.
Larson and kept alive by Munlin, but Courtney Eckenrode not able to do any more with it. So Texas A&M off to a good start here at home.
And that's a good sign for Kiara McGee, for the ball to come right back to her after getting blocked and then gets that kill. Because Lori Corbelli, you see she's sitting down right next to her outside hitter talking to her. She needs that good feedback. She needs to know every single thing that she might have done wrong or what she should do on the next play.
Ipley straight up the gut from Blake.
And just like that, 2 straight sets to Caitlin Blake that have been successful. I mean, running it right at Alyssa Munlin. That is something that the Aggies do well. Quick offenses out of their middles.
And answered right back on the other side by Kira Larson. As Alexa Etheridge goes back to serve, Missouri down by 2 in the opening set. Courtney Eckenrode sets up, and Kira Larson just so tough off that right side, number 10, and Grace so strong off of 1 foot.
Yeah, and that's all she wants to do is run it off of 1 foot whenever she gets an opportunity, and she has to take a very, very deep approach. She gets really close to her setter. It's really like that layup move, and that's how you generate a lot of power, and her swing is very successful out there because it's hard to read. It's hard to track and stay in front of.
Kahn met on the right side as Reeser and Babers saying access denied.
That is the second block that we've seen against Carly Kahn going up against Ashley Reeser. And you can see the size differential there. So Kahn is going to have to get creative and come up to more shots, maybe trying to use the top part, the weaker part of the Reeser block.
And so far, both of these teams look pretty evenly matched, but it's Texas A&M with the 2-point advantage, still unable to really kind of break away and spread this lead out a little bit more to make them feel comfortable. As Sydney Deacon goes down hard, and she is in a lot of pain. Appears to be grabbing her left ankle as the trainer comes out to the floor. And all is silent inside of Reed Arena. She's able to be helped up by the trainers. Look to be possibly a twist of that left ankle, so we hope that she is okay as she's being carried off the court with her teammates.
And remember, coming into this match, Sydney Deacon is subbing in for Melanie Crow, who is out with an injury. You see she rolled her ankle there, but also coming into the match, she had injured herself, and Coach told us before the match started that there was a foot injury. She wasn't even jumping the last 2 practices. So this is her first time even being able to jump, and so to see her go right back down, we don't know if she re-injured the same or aggravated the same injury, but that's hard for Missouri, who is now on their 3rd string offensive or outside hitter.
Absolutely, and that's number 6, Paige Perego, number 6 in gray. Meanwhile, Texas A&M continuing to look strong. Victoria Arenas on the serve. And oftentimes they try to find Carly Kahn, but she tries to make you pay in so many different ways.
Well, we talked about those shots, and that's one for Carly Kahn. Just the tip over the block, just challenging that left side defender to come up and make a play on the ball. And I think Coach wanted to make sure that that ball didn't get up, thinking that it was a pancake for the Aggies, but it was called down on the deck.
Kahn, just an all-around player, as you mentioned, Maria, for the Tigers. 3rd all-time career leader in kills. The fastest to 1,000 kills, and she does it with a number of shots in her arsenal. Thader trying to come off the right side. Say the Aggies.
A great job staying ahead of the play from the freshman. Holland Hands. You see how you have to take 1 step before? You almost have to beat the slide to the spot and reach back in, and that's exactly what the freshman does on that play by protecting the pin but reaching back in to take away the actual swing.
And Babers able to dump it down, and this is the largest lead of the game for Texas A&M as they are out to a 15-11 lead. When we return, our match will now be seen only on ESPNU and watch ESPN. Come back with us. Welcome back to Aggieland, the bustling town of College Station, as Texas A&M on top 15-11. Just to refresh you on the volleyball rules, the best 3 of 5 sets wins the match. This is rally scoring, so it goes a little bit quicker. The first 4 sets go to 25. Of course, you have to win by 2, and if push to a 5th set, they go to 15 again. You have to win by 2. Max number of substitutions you see on your screen, 15 per set per team. And well, Missouri, they have their fan base here traveling in from Como, and they'll need some juice from them as they're down by 4. Not only that, Melanie Crow and their second string outside hitter and Sydney Deacon on the bench, both now out with injuries. Crow with concussion-like symptoms, and we saw Deacon already in this first set twist her ankle. And Ipley to McGee. A lot of off-speed shots being shared back and forth between the two in this rally. There's Kahn going for a little more gusto. Eckenrode had the right idea. This time McGee says, let me pound it down.
Yeah, I thought for a second we were playing tips only. You know, sometimes you come in the gym and coach says, we're going to warm up, tips only, and shots. So he saw a lot of shoves and a lot of tips. Kiara McGee finally was like, I've had enough of that. I'm off the net. I'm going to take a big rip. I'm going to take a swing. But I think we're seeing tips or the off speeds, because we're seeing a lot of touches on the block. So both of these sides are a little tight, don't want to hit into the block, don't want to lose a point for their team. So trying to be cautious with those shots at the net.
Eckenrode for Thader, and Arenas tried to keep it alive, not able to do so. And if the Tigers can get Thader going like they did in the last match against Kentucky, watch out, had a career high 14 kills to go along with 6 blocks. She's got experience up front, and they'll need her as the Tigers are a little shorthanded now.
As you watch Jasmine Babers, you may be thinking, where's some of that pop? Well, she had off-season surgery, and she's still working through it. Coach Corbelli said she can probably give you about 5 or 3 good swings in a match, but you're going to see a lot of tips and a lot of shoves. There's the swing, though.
I was going to say.
Of course, as I say it, she goes ahead and rips one. But just know that she is playing a little bit slower than she could or potentially could with that arm swing, just because she's still dealing with rehab and coming back from that injury.
Torn labrum looked good there for Jasmine Babers, the redshirt senior middle blocker. And a double contact on the ball as Missouri picks up the point. Down by 3 here in the first set. Courtney Eckenrode, the junior setter, with the lone setting responsibilities this season, as Wayne Krecklow made some adjustments to his offense. Went from a 6-2 to a 5-1, so Eckenrode's number was called. And just pushed over by the junior transfer out of San Diego State. Nice dig there from Kahn to keep it alive. Larson. And great defense being played on both sides, Maria.
As obviously a block wins the set or wins the point on that one, but we are seeing some great floor defense. Carly Kahn digging up the hard-driven balls that are coming into left back. And again, we keep seeing these great touches on the block. I mean, the timing is spot on. A lot of that is just a reminder of when you pay attention to your scouting report and you can be ahead of the play, you can get blocks like that. Alyssa Munlin with the roof.
Munlin standing tall. We told you in the open, the defensive player of the week in Munlin going to work. Well, she's 4th in blocks in the SEC, and you saw a good reason right there. Missouri down by 1. Come back with us. No.
Nope. Oh, hey, Dino. Dino changed clothes. How far is Missouri from here? Okay. 6? Has she even played? Number 6? Borrego. Has she even played? Love it.
Well, that's the Syracuse head football coach, Dino Babers, here to look on as his daughter, Jasmine Babers, and the Texas A&M Aggies have a 1-point advantage over the league-leading Missouri Tigers. And you got a chance to talk with Dino just before tonight's match.
Yeah, you're going to see the interview at intermission, but what you need to know is I stalked him on the flight over here. I saw him in Dallas, and he's going to College Station, and I was like, you going to see Jasmine? Does she know? And he was like, who is this person talking to me? But he agreed to do the interview still, so I didn't scare him away too much. But
and
they were so great.
How lucky was he to be on the plane with you?
Thank you.
The one and only Maria Taylor.
He doesn't know who I am or care. He doesn't care. But those two love each other, you can tell. He came up to surprise her. It's the bye week, and, I mean, they really enjoy being around one another and make each other laugh. You're going to enjoy that at intermission.
No doubt. And Kiara McGee enjoying that left side. That left pin is her favorite.
Yeah, we're starting to see her warm up a little bit. Kira Larson was a little bit too far inside, giving up a lot of that line, that sideline, and you see Kiara McGee go right up and hit it.
Nicely with the dig there, and the right back at you from Khan. Again, a lot of great block touches on both sides of the net, helping to keep these rallies alive, and now it's even at 18.
If I'm Texas A&M and I'm hitting, I'm keeping the ball away from Carly Kahn when she's in the back row. I'm hitting it at right back as much as I can because she's taking everything that's coming to her at left back right now.
Reeser, the lefty, finds the seam.
Of course, when she's in front row, I'm setting whoever she's attacking against because you see the size differential, and she's a very disciplined blocker, but Ashley Reeser has some inches on her. She's a lefty hitter, and you see it there. Pays off going to her.
Out of San Antonio, Texas, coming off a 10-kill match against Georgia in that 5-set win on Friday. And here's the undersized Khan. How much power does she pack in that 5'9" frame?
Well, you saw it just in that play. She giving it right back to Ashley Reeser. Great swing. If you give her the line, she'll take it. If you give her a great cross-court shot, she'll take it. If she doesn't have a shot, she'll make one up and make you take it. And that's what makes Carly Kahn so great.
Not putting up the numbers that we've seen in the past as Larson strong on the block, and Missouri takes their first lead of the match.
Kira Larson, she's one of the fiery player. That's what coach says when she starts to get going. She's the motivation on the court, and her making plays is big.
Thader, none greater than that one right there.
I love Thader just being aware, staying in the play, and she's one of the players that you get excited about. Middle hitters, they don't always get a ton of love. They draw in a lot of blocks. They make a lot of things work, but sometimes you get rewarded by just staying aware and in the play.
Well, we're calling it Big Saturday because we have 3 Big Ten games for you, all with the college football playoff implications on the line at noon Eastern. It's number 2 Michigan taking on Michigan State for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. Then at 3:30, number 6 Ohio State looking to bounce back against Northwestern. Then at 7, it's 7th-ranked Nebraska and number 11 Wisconsin. All 3 games are on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. We told you coming into the match how important this one was for the Missouri Tigers. They are looking to remain perfect in league play, sitting at 9-0. Not too far behind them is Texas A&M sitting in 4th place. Of course, the Tigers coming off that huge win against now number 22 Kentucky on Sunday.
You can see it's very, very tight at the top, and it'll be fun to kind of see how everything plays out. But that Missouri-Kentucky match could have gone either way. I mean, Missouri comes out really quick, wins the first 2 sets. Kentucky battles and battles and battles their way back, and I'm sure at some point we'll continue to get into it. But that match came down to a challenge, and that is what ultimately decided the matchup. And I think that that's just really a microcosm of exactly what the entire season or the entire SEC is going to come down to. It might be one call, it might be one play, it might be one thing that sets these top 3 teams apart.
And the Missouri Tigers trying to set themselves apart. Thus far, they've done so in the SEC for sure, but on the national scene, they're still trying to gain some momentum and get some love in the top 25 poll.
Yeah, sitting at 26th right now. And you would think you come in and you beat a Kentucky team that has walked into Gainesville and swept Florida, that you might get a little bit more love. But that's not the case at all. And Coach even said part of it is because he doesn't believe there's anyone to take out of the top 25, but I certainly believe this is a top 25 team in Missouri.
How about Reeser hitting in the hot corners of the kitchen?
Ashley Reeser, a lefty, difficult to really gauge. If you don't have it in the gym, you don't block against it a lot, it's not easy to read, and Reeser has her arm going already tonight.
Answering back on the other side is Kira Larson. Larson, such a heavy hitter from that right side.
And if you're in here during serve and pass or you're just around Kira Larson, the ball pops wherever she is. She's going to get a good arm on the ball.
Ipley to Reeser once more, trying to feed the hot hand for the Aggies. Kahn on the other side, just out of the reach of Amy Hauser. And look at there, just like that, Missouri with set point.
You see how simple it was? That was a deep roll shot down the line for Carly Kahn.
And Babers again having to be clever with her shots because of the recovering shoulder injury, but it works here.
Yeah, we've probably seen 3 solid swings from Babers so far. That was a mid-range right there, not the full pop that we've seen in the past, but she is still making it work as best she can as a redshirt senior.
Hands just gets it in.
What a pretty running set, though, from Stephanie Ipley. She made that play. I mean, that was not an easy first contact to track down. Ipley runs at it with her platform, perfectly set ball. And that's how you better the balls. You see her, she's running out of the way, making sure that her outside has an excellent play for it. But that's the kind of plays that will set you apart and take your team to the next level if you're a setter.
And Ipley, we haven't talked much about her, but the SEC Player of the Year from a season ago, a 2-time All-American, and the junior setter just makes everyone around her better.
Absolutely. She's the kind of player that you can pass it all the way tight to the net. She can bring it back, get it to her middle. She can get it all the way to the outside. Not every setter can do that. Not every setter is athletic, great feet, and just kind of has a sense of where her offense needs to go. Not only a sense of how our hitters are feeling, but the flow of the offense in general. She can set up one-on-one matchups. I mean, she's just very keen and high volleyball IQ. And she has been since she showed up at Texas A&M. This is nothing new. That's the way she's been since she showed up in College Station.
Meanwhile, Sydney Deacon is now moving and operating on crutches. And so sad to see her. You see that left ankle being iced up. And again, in her position is number 6, Paige Perego. And Perego with her first set of the match. And it's just tough when you're thinking, Wayne Kreklow, you've got a team with so many high points so far this season. And yet, they're unable to capitalize on all of their firepower here against a very good Texas A&M team. Matters not, because Carly Kahn says, I'm going to set up and I'm going to handle things on my own. The Tigers use a 12-5 run to close out the set.
And Carly Kahn, it only makes sense that she would be the one to go up and get the kill. Blocked a couple of times in the first set, but she was very, very smart to finish it out. 2 straight kills that the Missouri Tigers needed to get out with the first set win on the road.
Welcome back to College Station. The Missouri Tigers take the first frame, and I don't know if this is a matter of just really good defense, but you take a look at the hitting percentages for both teams, not particularly great, but Carly Kahn has been the reason why thus far the Missouri Tigers have remained in this match and actually taken the lead.
Yeah, she had 5 kills throughout the first set, and I do agree, it's totally defense. I mean, we have seen so many scrappy plays and so many great blocks. Both of these teams are being very, very disciplined, and when they get touches on the ball at the net, it's going straight down. It's not getting past them. It's not popping off of hands. It's been very, very disciplined blocks, forcing one another to kind of tip and find unique shots. But I think that that's kind of been the difference. And then Missouri had Carly Kahn in the front row making smart plays on that outside when they needed her down the stretch.
Missouri with 16 blocks on the other side. Texas A&M with 4. A couple of players with 3 kills, and Ashley Reeser and Jasmine Babers. The A&M attack started out strong. They were 9 of 13 in that first set, but then they clearly cooled off, going 5 of 12 to close out the opening frame. And Ipley just misplayed that one. Very rarely do you see Stephanie Ipley make a mistake from that setter position.
Ever. I think it was more Ashley Reeser kind of being there too, thinking that she was going to make a play on the ball. But Stephanie Ipley is one of those players, doesn't matter where it is. If she's coming from left back all the way up to right front, she's going to try and make a play on it.
Too strong on the serve from the Tigers. And Caitlin Blake. You mentioned one of those players, much like Jasmine Babers, who has to limit her time as Eckenrode with the dump. Good heads-up play there, but Caitlin Blake having to limit herself in those jumps and practices, so her along with Babers from that middle blocker position kind of limited.
Limited to 70 jumps a day. That is, someone's actually counting how many jumps that they have because they're trying to preserve legs and trying to make sure that their health extends throughout the course of the season.
What an excellent serve from Carly Kahn.
And this is the second time that we've seen that short serve work for Missouri, just being very, very cautious with it, keeping the serve inside the 10-foot line. 2 things it does. It makes the passer have to move to make a play, and it also kind of gets in the way of the way you want to run your offense. But that time, Texas A&M taking care of that first ball contact, being able to get it to that right side through Stephanie Ipley. And a good play by Reeser. That's one of those plays, too. You see Ipley setting against the flow, getting it to right front, and she has a one-on-one opportunity to take advantage of.
And Perego getting a swing at it. McGee. And then is Eckenrode and Thader.
Perego, first game, set, match, everything. This is our first time setting foot on the court. That's because correct. We have 2 outside hitters on the sideline injured for Missouri right now, so keep that in mind as you watch this match continue.
And Thader coming alive here. We saw that against Kentucky, and here she is once more.
Yes, you talked about how efficient she was against Kentucky. No longer just a decoy, using her to run and take a blocker out of the play. You can give the ball to Thader, and she's going to be very efficient putting it down.
Kahn, how about that one for the save? Great hustle from the senior. And McGee throwing it down with some authority.
Yeah, McGee's coming in with the heat. And it's kind of been up and down early for McGee, but you see when she just comes in and is very confident with the shot she wants to hit, it's hard to slow her down. I mean, the arm swing comes really fast. It's a quicker tempo set. She has a lot of success right there.
And back the other way as Babers with the big block in the middle, number 22 in white.
And Alyssa Munlin coming straight to Jasmine Babers, and that's just a one-on-one, middle versus middle, mano-a-mano. See who's going to get the best in that play.
There's Ipley to Holland Hands, the freshman, and Munlin over to Perego. And tried to be kept alive from Etheridge. Kahn couldn't get to it, and now the Aggies are on a 4-0 run.
And right now, all of those hustle plays seem to really be working for Texas A&M. Heads-up play by Jasmine Babers, just going into the deep corner, knowing there's no defense there. And you can see the struggle right now for Missouri. Can't really go to your outside hitter. Alyssa Munlin, Jasmine Babers is in the front, shutting her down when they run right at her. So what's the answer? And that's what Missouri's going to figure out in that timeout.
We'll step aside from College Station, but come back with us on the other side. What a season it's been thus far for the Missouri Tigers, bringing in their 13-match win streak into College Station. And the Tigers fans need to feel a little love, maybe give some more juice to the players on the court, as Texas A&M with a 4-point lead here in the second set. Aggies hoping to play upset and continue their streak. They've won the last 4 against Mizzou. And the good fortune continues here.
So we said the question was how Missouri, what is the offense you run when your setter is front row? You only have 2 people in the front row that you can set. And there's Alyssa Munlin able to put it down, but that's the answer. There's only 2 options unless you're going to go Carly Kahn hitting out of the back row. That is the toughest rotation to side out of for Missouri right now. Third string offensive or outside hitter, Alyssa Munlin, when everyone knows that the ball should go to Munlin on a 3-pass.
Be interesting to see how the Tigers adjust to that adversity. They did just fine against Kentucky with Crow out. But now with 2 outside hitters down, who will step up? And when we talked with Wayne Krecklow earlier this week, he said, look, Carly Kahn has to be that one. We saw her put up huge numbers last year, but there's been a more balanced attack from the Tigers this season, but they need her to revert back.
Right. Take it back to 2015, Carly Kahn, when we needed you double-digit kills every single match, because it's definitely going to rest on her shoulders here tonight, especially when she's in the front row.
An excellent set behind from Ipley to Babers. Great connection there, and those 2 are besties, and you see the connection coming through on the court.
Absolutely. I mean, they spent a lot of time together, and we've seen Babers kind of running all over the court. That's what you have to do, struggling with that injury, but run her in front, run her quicks behind, and slides.
How about Blake saying no ma'am from the middle?
So far, both middles, Blake and Jasmine Babers, have done a really good job of staying ahead of Alyssa Munlin and shutting her down or making her have to choose different shots and just not be as effective.
Excellent serve from Amy Nettles, her second service ace of the match.
Now remember, Missouri's only passing with 2, Carly Kahn and Alexa Etheridge. That's a lot of ground to cover, so a good job just trying to find some open court.
Nettles right there. Hands finishing things off. And one of the areas that Coach Corbelli talked about was passing. We see a great job here from the Aggies.
Yeah, great swing, but you're right. The real challenge that's facing Missouri right now is serve-receive line. I mean, they're lucky to get out of that with Amy Nettles hitting that ball out of bounds, but they just could not get the first contact together. And again, the struggle is already on. The pressure is already on Eckenrode to try and find that offense that's going to work. But right now, tough serves from Texas A&M are paying off.
And that one just inside the inline. I mean, it kissed it. Mwah.
It did. And that's one of those balls that you would have to run through if you're Alexa Etheridge. But she was sucked in a little bit, trying to make sure that she was going to cover, and a great decision there. Good shot. Right now, Texas A&M just kind of going with the flow. It's going, all the momentum is on the Aggie sideline.
And breaking their momentum was Carly Kahn there. Hands saying, I'm just going to unload on you, baby. Out of Corpus Christi, Texas, is Holland Hands.
Hands is doing quietly an excellent job of just dominating the balls that she is supposed to get a kill on. When it's a good set, she has an opportunity to get a good swing on it. She is finishing the play. And as a true freshman, just showing a lot of poise and composure out there on that left pin.
Coach Cobelli says she's been a great surprise on that left side. First time there, just plays with a ton of confidence, and you see her taking big hacks at it, that time from the back row. A net violation on Missouri. Point goes to Texas A&M. And they've got a 15-10 lead. Correction, point goes to Missouri.
What a great play by Carly Kahn, just trying to make something out of literally nothing. I mean, the way that she's able to play with a high volleyball IQ and make great decisions. We've seen it a couple of times. Go with the roll shot down the line. Even if it's not a kill, it's probably not going to be a perfect three pass because it's a difficult ball to get to. The ball control that she has, not only playing defense and passing, but in the front row to create her own shots. I mean, it's something that's really fun to watch.
All-American honorable mention in 2013 and 14 was Kahn. Set it back up for Kahn once more. Great dig there by Amy Nettles. You got to stomp your feet to that one, and that's exactly what Kiara McGee did, laying it down.
And a great set by Stephanie Ipley, bringing in Kiara McGee just a little bit, not all the way out to the pin, get her inside that right side block, which is Eckenrode, and let her take a whack at it.
A great play by Emily Thader, and I know Coach Wayne Kreklow wants to see more of that if he can get his senior middle involved.
Absolutely. If you can get up and make a great jump set, and this was in transition, so Thader literally had to spin around, great footwork to get back up with her setter to even put herself in an opportunity to get a kill.
Little ping pong on the Texas A&M side.
That's a huge block by Alexa Etheridge. I mean, staying ahead of that one. And you're Kiara McGee, so you're probably thinking, I can hit over. That's the setter. I can hit over her. But a good play. Wait, stay disciplined.
Babers wins that one. Advantage, the 6'2 senior.
Yeah. Literally no chance on that one for Eckenrode. Jasmine Babers getting up, just redirecting the ball. That's what you say sometimes with an overpass. Doesn't have to be a huge swing, just redirect the ball at the net.
Once more, Jasmine Babers continues to be on this hot streak. She says, feed me,
I think
till I can't want anymore.
For her dad. He's here. It's the bye week, you know, so might as well show out, get a couple blocks here, couple great swings, shove to kill.
Well, she was not credited with the point there. And Missouri back to serve. There's Emily Thader.
Meanwhile, Missouri making substitutions. Allie Kreklow coming in to set, trying to change things up. You see you're down, trying to see what else you can fill out. But Allie Kreklow is in now as the setter. And remember, Missouri has toyed with the 6-2, so they have had situations where they've let Allie set as well.
Well, what a game this one should be with big-time college football playoff implications. It's undefeated number 3 Clemson battling number 12 Florida State in front of a hostile Doak Campbell Stadium crowd Saturday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Well, Jasmine Babers, we told you just how hot she's been again with Dad in the stands. She's got 6 kills tonight, well below her hitting percentage average, but still, Dad's got to be proud of the way she's played. Great effort she's put forth.
Yeah, and not only that, doing a good job with her blocks, staying ahead of plays, and even if she's not getting the solo roof on the play, she's still going to make a hitter double clutch or think twice about the swing that they would like to take, taking a little bit of pressure off of the backcourt defense. And as you know, coming into this match, Jasmine Babers not going to always be able to take the full swing. That's one of her midway swings. That's probably a full swing. That was a shove. So those are 2 completely different speeds, or 3 completely different speeds that we've seen from her already. But every single time, it's either been successful or it hasn't been an error. So at the end of the day, she's not hurting her team.
She's got 5 blocks tonight, and certainly I'm looking forward to the future. You got a chance to sit down with Jasmine and her dad. Interesting life that she's had to live, moved all around, and
changes her hometown according to wherever Dad is. She said home is wherever her family is, and Dad's not allowed to cheer during matches, so I've seen him clap a couple of times, but you're right, I haven't seen him cheer. So that's just a Babers family rule, apparently.
Out of the break, Texas A&M with the point, down 1-0 against the league-leading Missouri Tigers. Three service errors now for A&M as Courtney Eckenrode back to serve, and you mentioned just how Eckenrode has assumed the responsibility now in that 5-1 offense when Wayne Kreklow made that change in mid-September.
And he might be looking back at toying with the 6-2 because we've already seen him make the substitution once, and he said it's all about matchups if he does go back to it, if they need more size in the front row. Looks like there's a touch, so they're going to give the point back to Texas A&M.
So Aggies hoping to even things up here before they head into the locker room. Kira Larson says, wait a minute, hold up.
Great swing. Kira Larson, whenever she's able to go off of 1 foot, it's almost been a straight down kill. And we've seen balls that are just a high ball out to the right side. That's not her game. Her game is quick, it's out to the pin, and it's so that she can go off of 1 foot.
Larson giving chase, keeping it alive. Caitlin Blake with the kill.
A nice pull by Stephanie Ipley. I mean, Missouri's blockers really didn't know where to go on that play. Jumping up, Munland's a little bit late. Larson not there to help. And the play easy, a one-on-one blocking situation that offenses should be able to take advantage of.
Here's the deal, you can't get ahead of yourself, but Texas A&M just 5 points away from evening things up, and you know they want to hand Missouri their first conference loss of the season. Well, folks, we're calling it a big Saturday because we have 3 Big Ten games for you, all with college football playoff implications. First up, it's Michigan, number 2, at Michigan State in East Lansing. Then at 3:30, Northwestern battles number 6 Ohio State at the Horseshoe. Then at 7, to cap things off, 7th-ranked Nebraska taking on number 11 Wisconsin at Camp Randall. All 3 games are on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Well, Missouri, we talked about them not getting any love in the top 25 poll, but in the RPI, they look darn good. We're talking number 16, and you see they're one of 4 teams in the SEC in the top 50 of the RPI.
And when it comes down to who's going to the NCAA tournament and making selections, the RPI plays a very big role in that. Texas A&M went out, played a very, very tough preseason schedule. Missouri has come in after that loss to BYU, rattling off 13 consecutive wins, so their RPI continues to bump up and up. But both of these teams find themselves in a pretty good spot with plenty of tough matches around the corner to continue to build on that RPI.
There at the top are 3 Big Ten teams. 3 of the top 4 are out of the Big Ten Conference. But when you think about the bear of a schedule that Texas A&M had coming in, my goodness, how difficult it was for them just to get through non-conference.
Yeah, preseason schedule included 5 ranked opponents. That was more than any other SEC team. They played the current number 2 in Texas, number 3 in Minnesota, number 4 in Wisconsin. So fair to say that they've seen a little bit of everything already this season.
And right now you're seeing Texas A&M stretch out that lead.
Yeah, the struggle we've seen, which we haven't seen from Missouri this season, coming from serve, receive. Great challenging serves coming from Texas A&M.
One of those things helping to aid the Aggies along is they wanted to be more aggressive from the service line, and it's helped them. Keeping the Tigers on their toes as Etheridge serves it up.
Texas A&M wanted a touch on that one, but no play made on the back line. So Missouri, an opportunity to serve, but now's the time for the Tigers to protect their serve and keep Texas A&M from siding out.
Backhand violation on the Aggies.
Back row attack as Stephanie Ipley was trying to go up and save the ball, but it went over after touching her. She's in the back row just trying to make a play on that second contact.
So Lori Corbelli having to take a quick timeout to regroup. And of course, we've already talked about it coming up at intermission. Jasmine Babers going way back. I'm sure she's loving these photos right about now. And Taylor's take, Maria sits down with the Aggies Babers as we break down all the action from the first 2 sets. And there's Dino in the stands.
Love it. Coach Babers, 4 daughters and a wife, just in a household with 5 women. Then he goes to get to coach, a football team. So I hope he gets his fill while he's there, because he said he does not rule anything when he gets back home. The girls rule him, but he and his daughter have a very special bond.
That must be, though,
you can tell.
a very fun household. So do you think they're like all daddy's girls?
I do. After sitting down with Jasmine and Coach Babers, I feel that way. They all have to have one of these excellent relationships, but you can tell the kids mean so much to him, and for him to take the time off during his bye week, make sure that he makes it out to College Station, Texas, which is not easy. From Syracuse, I don't know how many flights he had to get on to get here, but he made sure that he was in town to see her. He's rolling around in a 19-passenger van, too, by the way, and Jasmine thought he was a maintenance man when he showed up, so it was a surprise when her dad got out of the van, but he's here now, and they were joking about that. You'll hear more about it at the intermission.
You talk about a van?
Yeah.
Are we talking about a van?
I, too, have a van.
You have a 15-passenger van.
I could have brought both teams here with me, but I didn't. I just showed up by myself because I would have jumped over a curb.
Instead, you just talked to the imaginary team that you had riding.
Exactly. Got to coach them up, too.
Check it out on Twitter, folks. The action continues on the court with Texas A&M a 2-point advantage, trying to even up the match against the league-leading Missouri Tigers, and they're 2 points away from doing so.
Just
staying steady, chipping away at Missouri's lead, and continuing to challenge from that service line.
Great opportunity there, but the freshman nets the serve. Now Kira Larson with an opportunity. Hands will check out. Gabby Litwin in for her in the back row. And now the attack error. And you cannot let this Missouri team hang around. Despite being down their top 2 outside hitters, or 2 of their starting outside hitters. Blake says, you're not going to let that happen. It's all good. I got you.
Way to stay aware and get everyone up in their seats, because now you have set point. An opportunity to take the second set at home. You need this if you're trying to upset a Missouri team undefeated in conference play.
Set point for the Aggies, and they close out the second frame. On the 5th set, Missouri has lost in 10 SEC matches. This one at the hands of the Texas A&M Aggies as they even it up at 1 apiece. So come back.
Fell apart during the second set for the Tigers.
We've seen Kira Larson be big in other moments for the Tigers, and tonight it's no different. She, along with Carly Kahn, have 8 kills for the Tigers.
Yeah, and even more impressively, hitting 400 right now through the first 2 sets is Larson. But again, the player that needs a great set and being able to be in systems is Kira Larson if they can continue to do that. But it's going to be difficult if Texas A&M continues to serve as tough as they've been, because it's hard to get that 3-ball pass that Kira Larson has such success with. I mean, she needs her setter to get the ball in a position to be able to set quick tempo, and so far they haven't been able to do that because of Texas A&M's great serving. Going back to the service line, Amy Nettles challenging that 3-rotation passing unit, and you see she went short. She's pushed deep. And I love the bow and arrow shot that she does afterwards and points it right at the passers. And it's really just the thing that Missouri needs to clean up here in this 3rd set if they want to make it 2-1.
Both teams hitting below their season average, but that's okay because they've been able to find ways around it. And also, you pointed out earlier, Maria, just great defense by each of these teams. Will be interesting to see the rest of the way who has the advantage, what adjustments were made at the half from both of these teams. Again, the Missouri Tigers, a perfect 9-0 in SEC play. They're without their offensive leader in Melanie Crow, out with concussion-like symptoms. We saw Sydney Deacon go down, rolling her left ankle. She's on the bench being assisted by crutches.
And now in a boot.
And then you have a Texas A&M team right now at full strength and sitting at 4th in the conference. And they come out with the first point, setting up Reeser on that right pin.
I was walking over during the intermission and talked to Gary Blair, and the first thing he says is their best outside hitter out right now? And I was like, yes, coach. And then he said, did another one go down? I said, yes, coach. He's like, oh, we got to win this one. And I was like, yes, coach, all of these things are true. But you're right. I mean, what better opportunity do you have if you're Texas A&M? If you're at home, there's an outside hitter playing 3 rotations that has literally not stepped on the court before for Missouri. The opportunity is yours to build momentum, to feed off of this crowd, to continue to serve tough and continue to attack this Missouri team that's really down some big players.
And then does that make Missouri now a 2-dimensional team when you have Larson that you can go to, Kahn, as well as your attackers?
It just absolutely changes everything. You even see there defensively sometimes trying to make the play, but when you have one player that necessarily hasn't been there before, the block isn't going to be the same. You're not seeing the same looks, and you literally see it there when the right side is attacking against Missouri.
That one looked all out of sorts for Missouri as Texas A&M out to a quick 3-1 lead. Net violation on Texas A&M. Missouri gets the point.
I think they called it on Kiara McGee, who was there, ready to make the play, just coming down, hits that net.
There's McGee's laying a smackdown.
Sometimes I just have to shake my head because it almost looks like the ball could land inside the 10-foot line, but great tempo sets coming from Stephanie Ipley. Look at her just skying over the net. She's up so high, quick arm swing, great attack, and right now she has a lot of seams to hit through.
And that one was called in. Larson recording another kill, and we could see a challenge from Lori Corbelli. The green card has come out, and so she will challenge whether the ball is in or out. So there are 3 challenges per team, per match. Doesn't have any effect on timeouts. And again, right, Lori Corbelli challenging whether it's in or out. The other 3, whether a player made contact, net violation, or foot faults on the serve. But when you look at it in real time, it looked like it was just out.
Yeah.
I almost thought, but the down official said it was in, and it looks like it was clearly out.
Yeah, looks like it was clearly out on that one.
So the call likely to be overturned if the official seeing what we're seeing right here.
And you could just see immediately Texas A&M Victoria saying that ball's out as soon as she sees it go sailing. And a lot of times, you know, if you're back row playing defense, if it's above your hip and you're where Arenas is, then it's probably going to be out. And it looks like it's just out from that angle.
Now, from that angle, it's a little bit more deceiving.
I think the first look was the most telling.
Look, yeah.
And it looked like it was out on the first look. But I love the challenge that's been added. I know not everyone is going to like the way that it slows down the game, but it reminds me of certain plays that you have to have back. Obviously, Kentucky-Missouri was one of those plays. There's the first look that tells you clearly the ball is out. But last season, Florida playing Texas, and a ball clearly in, a Florida kill, gets called out.
Yep.
Point goes to Texas. Game changer.
Right.
I mean, that is one where you wish that you have a challenge card if you're Mary Wise, and you want that play back so many times over. So it's just an addition. The game continues to evolve. It's something that's going to help and put it in line with international play and what you see if you watch USA Volleyball.
The SEC adopting it this season, along with the Big 10, Big 12 coming in as well. So several teams individually as well looking at it. So they're saying that the call is inconclusive.
Okay.
So the point remains
not enough evidence
Missouri
to overturn.
Not enough evidence to overturn. Wow. Big call there. What a pancake dig. They're saying no. Texas A&M with the point, but Carly Kahn thought she put her hand out just in enough time.
Thought she had it. So back-to-back trading calls that both teams think they would have had. I thought Kahn had that too.
Yeah.
That ball just a little bit low for Emily Fader. Got to get her above the tape so that she can get a clean swing or at least a good shove on it.
So A&M doubles the lead here. This time high enough from Eckenrode to Thader.
Great adjustment by Eckenrode, going right back to Thader after the miscommunication or the misconnection and having success.
Here's Kahn. Great one-handed stab. And wonderful defense. Great rallies back and forth. And it ends there.
You love to see a bunch of one-arm digs, hustle plays. The ball is bouncing off of everyone. You don't even know what direction it's going. And then Holland Hands comes in with just the nice, smart, smooth play down the line.
Crafty shot snuffed out by Stephanie Ipley this time. Going with a little more oomph is Carly Kahn.
And every now and then you'll see her crank up the volume, crank up the power. She has a quick arm too. She'll trick you or make you kind of sit back on your heels with some of those shots. And then every now and then she'll come in with the power game. Right now we're seeing Texas A&M do something that Missouri usually does so well, and that is side out consistently. I mean, doing a great job with the first contact, getting the ball to the hands of their setter, Stephanie Ipley, with 3 options, which she's in the back row, and they're taking advantage of all those opportunities.
Larson tried the tip shot and caught Blake off guard.
And that's a good decision by Kira Larson because we know that Caitlin Blake is such a great blocker, and she and Kiara McGee were ready for that one. So a great soft touch on the play.
Block touch on the left side. Helps to set up the offense for the Tigers, and here come the Aggies. Did she put a little stank on that?
She did.
I think she put
just
a little stank on that.
Right down the line. Sometimes you just have to protect your face. And I feel like that's one of those situations. McGee comes in with so much pop and so much speed. You're just trying to get your hands up to protect yourself.
Nice tip there by Babers to keep it alive. Kahn right down the line. Boy, I tell you, so clever, so crafty.
And every single time the ball goes to Carly Kahn, you know you're going to see a smart shot. You don't really know where it's going to go. You know she's not going to get blocked that often. You know she's not going to hit the ball out of bounds that often. And that's what she does so well. She's crafty.
Big block there, middle to middle. It's Alyssa Munlin, the SEC Defensive Player of the Week, coming through.
Huge block, and it seems as though every time we see the middles go at each other, the blocker has had the advantage in this match.
And McGee touches 10-5, ladies and gentlemen. We're seeing her full athletic ability on display tonight.
Remember at the beginning of the match when we said that the Aggies go as McGee goes? I think clearly she's gone, and they're having a lot of success behind her, just tossing the ball up there high, letting her go and swing and build momentum off of her plays.
The overpass, an opportunity as Munlin tried to have the crafty shot. And it's tied up at 10 apiece. And just missed time from McGee off the bump set from Ipley.
That's a tough play when you've got the set coming at you and you've already gotten back and you're trying to make an approach, but you really can't even jump into it. So tough ball to make a play on.
Great diving dig from Eckenrode. Ipley, we haven't seen her go to that often, but she can do that, averaging nearly a kill a set.
And you're right, we haven't seen her go over on too many times, but a lot of that is, first of all, she's going against the outside hitter, making her first appearance, and not recognizing that the setter is up. She knew that no one was jumping with her, so she went over on 2.
Well, we see the pendulum swing back and forth with the arms flailing and the fist pumps.
Yep, and the power right now coming from Larson for Missouri and McGee for Texas A&M. Those are the most powerful swings we've seen so far this match.
Babers right in the cubby hole of Larson to Perego. Kahn out of the back row. Babers pushes it just inside.
What a smart play by Babers. Recognizing that Carly Kahn had just come out of making an approach, so you could see her. She was trying to get back into her defensive spot, and the set was coming so fast to Babers that Kahn didn't even have time to react to that one.
Kahn too strong. 2-point advantage for A&M.
And you just see trying to find who to set right now. Perego's on that left side. Emily Thader's up in the middle. Carly Kahn is in the back row. And we've seen her take a swing out of the back row the last 2 sets.
Here's Perego trying to get her first kill of the season.
And there goes Perego.
Correction, her second kill. So Perego, who again was thrust into duty, the sophomore out of Baldwin, Missouri. They would like a little surprise from her.
And it seems like Texas A&M has an answer to every Missouri kill right now, riding a wave of momentum at home and trying to take down a Missouri team that's won 13 straight.
They're the first to 15. They're in control by 2 here in Aggie Land.
Back here at Reed Arena in College Station, we have seen some great swings and hot arms. Missouri has really relied on Larson and Carly Kahn to be most effective. Larson, the way she gets it done is a heavy arm on the ball. Kahn, the way she gets it done is smart, high volleyball IQ shots, but 23 kills between the 2 of them. Meanwhile, Texas A&M, balance is the name of the game, with 5 players with 5+ kills, doing a good job as Stephanie Ipley, distributing the ball, spreading out her offense, and keeping the Missouri blockers guessing.
And in A&M's last match, they had 5 players with double-digit kills for the first time this season. They're halfway there. If they keep it up, they hit 392, which is the highest for A&M all time in a 5-set match. And their good fortune continues here, hitting better than 375 in this 3rd set.
But that ball sailing a little bit
Too much power
deep.
from Kahn.
Yeah, and Kahn trying to make something work. She's added a little bit of pop to her last few swings, just trying to get her team going here.
After tonight's Rockets-Laker game, tune in to SportsCenter at night with Stan and Neil to have a complete breakdown from Game 2 of the World Series in Cleveland, as well as the NBA and NHL highlights and NFL news and everything else from a busy night in sports. SportsCenter at night on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. So Kiara McGee, the junior outside hitter from San Antonio, Texas. She's had a good night, 9 kills despite 8 errors, but she's been the energy player for A&M.
Absolutely. I mean, if you needed a big pop, if you needed to get the core of cadets going here in Reed Arena, it's been Kiara McGee that has made that happen. We've seen her hit it down the line. We've seen her hit it through the seams. She's had a lot of one-on-one blocks, and she's taken advantage of each and every one of those, and that's what you like to see out of your 0-1, just going up, bringing you a lot of firepower, and she has done that in and out of systems today.
And we talked about that match against Georgia on Friday. They were pushed to 5 sets. They were able to win it, and that was the first one that they've gone the distance with and actually won, which is so ironic because Coach Lori Corbelli told us, hey, look, last year we won all of our 5-set matches, including one against Missouri. So this season they haven't had as much success, but the way you feel like this one is going, we could be going to 5. Thader is there.
And a great thing about that Georgia win for Texas A&M was hitting 392. I mean, a great hitting percentage for usually a 5-set match, a little ugly. Things got out of control or you had a down set or something went wrong, but not really the case, just a battle. And that was the highest hitting percentage all time for a Texas A&M in a 5-setter. So that was a great run, and they're just kind of building on it still with a lot of even and balance that we're seeing right now on offense.
They're hitting just over 200 for the match tonight.
Texas Aggies! Texas Aggies!
Well, Reeser, the only lefty on the team, and the southpaw continuing to go to work.
And that's a name we haven't called in a while, but Reeser still on the floor. She was really good in that first set for Texas A&M. As you see, Eckenrode going into the net, trying to go over on 2 and create some offense. I think everyone from Missouri right now pressing a little bit. Where is our offense going to come from? Trying to find it.
And tight set for Munlin. Munlin takes care of it, but Missouri down by 5.
There's that running straight at the block. A good job of Munlin, though, keeping it out of the hands of Blake and going with her power.
Just a second error for Reeser to go along with 9 kills.
And it looked like she got under the ball a little bit on that one. Happens a little bit mistimed, misread. Whenever you see a ball sailing, a lot of times the hitter's just under it, too far underneath the ball, not keeping it out in front.
Caitlin Blake says, show me what you're working with.
We think of her so much as just a blocker, but showing again why she had 16 kills against Georgia on Friday. Big swing, great play.
Khan just misplays that one. And after the Missouri Tigers came out so strong in set number 1, it feels like Texas A&M has just kind of taken over this match, gotten into their groove, and really exploiting the weaknesses right now for the Tigers.
Yeah, and you see Wayne Krecklow having to take a timeout after he sees Carly Kahn roll one into the net, because that is a telltale sign that the wheels are slowly falling off. When really the best all-around player on your court is making a mental mistake like that, when everything about her game is mental, not a good sign. Trying to regroup, trying to re-rally the team. See if you can come back into the offense that we saw earlier from someone like Carly Kahn. I mean, the way that she's been able to exploit this Aggie defense. You see that, a great roll shot down the line. That's a shot. That's a smart shot. Then you see her with a little bit of pop and power going cross court. Then stepping in, a nice quick tempo set, hard-driven ball. That's the most power you'll probably see out of her. And then a roll again, right over the top, down the line. That's what she's had a lot of success with. So as you can see in that package, if it was 6 plays, there's 6 different shots with 6 different tempos and 6 different speeds and actual arm and angle and strength behind the ball. That's what she does so well, is pick and choose her spots and shots.
You see the offense for Texas A&M just rolling here in this third set, but we keep talking about that big win over Kentucky because, again, that was a huge test for the Missouri Tigers, and Wayne Krecklow even told us he thought the first test for them was going to be against Auburn, a very good team sitting at 7-2 in the conference, and Rick Knoll has done a great job there. But this was yet another one. And you run into the reigning SEC champions, and look, whether they are having the season they thought they would have or not, the Aggies are such a difficult team to play against, and he knew any mistake that they made, and the Aggies would make you pay for it.
And never forget, Texas A&M has won the last 4 straight, so they've got the number of the Missouri Tigers.
And they have controlled the series overall.
Hustle, hustle all around. Stephanie Ipley, all smiles on that one-handed dig, and then the block against Carly Kahn.
And Ipley with the bad back and all doesn't look to be affected by any means. Carly Kahn coming back on the kill. Carly Kahn has been serving so tough in this match. Another example there. Gives her team 18 points. And the third service ace of the match for Missouri.
Carly Kahn choosing to keep them short, serving short, make the hitters pass balls.
There's just no answer for Reeser off the right pin. Set point, Texas A&M.
You're right, and check it out. One-on-one. Parego going up, but a little bit outside, and Ashley Reeser taking advantage with that lefty swing. Well, if you want to have success, continue to put the ball in Kira Larson's hand. In tempo, let her get off of 1 foot, and there hasn't been an answer for her either on that right pin for Missouri.
Both Etheridge and Larson transferred in from Nebraska a couple of years ago and certainly have made their impact. And Parego, number 6 in gray, again, the third string outside hitter. And the sophomore with her third kill of the night. And that does it. The net serve gives Texas A&M a 25-20 advantage, and they take a 2-1 lead. The Aggies so close to potentially knocking off the SEC leading Missouri Tigers. Come back to see if they can. Yeah. On ESPN. Well, this is only the second time Missouri's down 2-1 in an SEC match this season, as the Aggies have a 2-1 advantage. And one of the bright spots for Texas A&M is the freshman in Holland Hands.
8 kills, only 1 error, hitting .304, and doing all of it on the outside. Not very easy. You're usually going to face a double block, but doing such a good job choosing her shots. Off speed, getting out, transitioning, making room to get a swing like that, going over the double block and still down the line. She's made some amazing plays on the outside, and all smiles for the true freshman who has rolled right into that outside hitter position with no problem this season.
And well, her Texas A&M Aggies have done exceptionally well against Missouri over the years, and in fact, in the last 4 matches, they've handed the Tigers a loss. Meanwhile, a perfect 9-0 coming in are the Missouri Tigers. They put that on the line. They've defended it each night before, but now they're down 2-1. So this could be huge in the SEC standings, as Missouri is number 1. Will they get their first loss tonight? And the crowd, the rowdy folks from Como are like, not yet.
Yeah,
They were just in a five-setter. Yeah.
The zoo
The
up
zoo.
there.
The zoo.
M-I-Z-Z-O-U.
I forgot. If I lean on my SEC Nation host,
I've
Maria
got
Taylor,
you. I have
you'll
got
hold
your
me
back.
up. You hold me up, girl.
Whatever is special about every town, I better know it.
Reeser has just been a tiger killer, and she continues.
And again, you have to use Reeser right now when she is up against an outside hitter who's trying to feel out the game right now. And Perego, and you see her just choosing her shots. It's always been a one-on-one block. There's a lot of seam, a lot of cross court for Reeser right now.
Here comes McGee and Eckenrode. You see the indecision as she was standing along the line. Knew it was coming her way, but just couldn't react in enough time.
It almost feels like right now, like Texas A&M knows we are going to win this match with every single play. Very confident swings. There's no second guessing going on right now on the Aggie sideline.
They smell blood. They are on the attack.
Absolutely.
And the best part about it for them, they're at home.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the Yell leaders behind them,
Yep.
along with the Corps of Cadets.
And the net violation, small things like that, balls being hit out of bounds, something that we didn't see from Missouri during the first set. At no point were they beating themselves. And that is something that Wayne Kreklow said during serve and pass earlier today. Is like, we just don't need to beat ourselves.
Yeah. Well, at points, Missouri, looked shook. But again, the 12th man is real when you're inside Reed Arena.
Absolutely. And now trying to get something going between an Alyssa Munlin kill, getting up, powering her way through that block.
The dig by Carly Kahn. And Perego silently
coming back. We've seen her have some success with the shots when she uses a good roll shot, a good shove, top of the block, or going down the line with it. We've seen some success there.
Fader evens it at 4-all.
That's a player, too, that could totally be a difference maker right now. Emily Fader, who a lot of times she's the one drawing the block, but staying aggressive at the net, getting her even more involved on the offense right now with Larson front row could be huge.
There's Fader once again, almost helped to win that point. Instead, it's Texas A&M.
The swing there after great hustle. I mean, that play just simply kept alive by staying after it. And Reeser ends the play.
This time, she slams it down.
Now, with that great play by Fader, you rotate. Larson's now back row, so you only have two front row options if you're Eckenrode.
And Etheridge was ready for that one. Perego, again, we've seen her be more active here in this fourth set. And Babers pushes it just too far.
And that would have been a great play. She was trying to get that back line where we've seen her have success with that already before here today. Because no defender is thinking the ball is going to the deep corner when there's a joust at the net.
You see Wayne Kreklow now not afraid to use his sophomore in Perego on that left side to take a few more swings. A little hesitant early on. The sophomore was too, but now that she's gotten into that game rhythm.
Yep, got into the flow.
Yep.
Using her even more now. Seeing more sets being very purposeful going out to her. But now, again, only 2 hitters front row. We got a front row setter for Missouri. Carly Kahn might have to take some swings.
Emily Hauser with her first start of the season behind the service line.
You see getting up Stephanie Ipley doing a good job getting it to her middle hitter. Alexa Etheridge wanted a hold call on that one, trying to get the shove from Babers.
Ipley, heads up play for her. So Stephanie Ipley, that's what Coach Corbelli said she wanted to see more of her be on the attack. That's not something that Ipley necessarily wants to do. She is enjoying just being a great setter.
Just distributing.
Yeah.
And she is great at distributing the ball, but again, she has a lot of success when she goes over on 2 because she's got the height, the physicality there that we've seen a couple of times when she goes up and really gets into the block. So she's always an option when she's front row.
Comes from a volleyball family. Mom and dad both played, and she was coached in high school by her aunt, a 2-time national champion with the Texas Longhorns. And Ipley once again to Babers, and that, you see the synergy, rather the point goes to Missouri, but you still see the synergy.
They called a lift on that one. Look at Coach.
Lift, yeah.
Coach Babers knows what is that? What is going on? I thought it was a kill. Thought my daughter got a kill. The lift was called on that one. Literally, if you want to shove the ball, you have to keep it out in front of you. You can't come from behind your shoulder and move a whole motion forward and not swing on the ball. That's called a lift.
We've just seen some high-level volleyball tonight. Just extension of rallies, but ended there by Holland hands. But to keep the balls alive, the defense has been excellent.
And that's what we've seen from Texas A&M, a great job of playing in transition. I mean, keeping the balls off the floor, running through, keeping it alive, and then finding someone to get the kill. You have to give Missouri an opportunity to make a play on the ball when it's on their side of the net. Basically calling the blocker going too far over the net, taking that opportunity away from Missouri on that play.
And then negated by the service error from Emily Thader. That breaks the tie, 10-9, Texas A&M. So Ipley with her second double-double of the season, as Ipley has 41 assists, 10 digs. There's Kahn.
Great swing, using that arm speed on that one. A lot of strength on the play. And you can see, if you don't get all the way out to the pin on Carly Kahn, she'll make you pay for it because she has that shot in her toolkit. Good finish on that play.
It almost looked like that one was going over the net. Eckenrode kept it in, and Munlin finished it off.
Good job of Alyssa Munlin being up with the play, knowing that that ball is going to be set very, very close to the net. All Eckenrode had was one hand, and she still ran through her play and expected the ball.
There's Munlin representing Swanee, Georgia, baby.
Yeah, expecting it again. Right back at you, Alyssa Munlin. Remember, the reigning SEC Defensive Player of the Week. Having some success right now. You put Texas A&M on the ropes a little bit. They need a timeout to settle things down after that play.
So Alyssa Munlin doing her thing says, don't play with me. My goodness, it's everything we wanted to be and more. Living up to the hype. The SEC leading Missouri Tigers putting their 9-0 conference record on the line. The Texas A&M has handled things up 2-1. You see through the first 3 frames, it was 13 ties, 4 lead changes, but it's been a wild one here in this 4th set. 7 ties and 4 lead changes.
It has gone back and forth, and you credit some of that to the fact that Missouri has gotten a little more used to their brand new lineup. I mean, they have had to go through and figure out, okay, when we are in row 1, who should get the ball when we're trying to side out. I mean, it's completely different when whatever you practice the whole week or leading up to the match has completely changed and been flipped on its side due to injuries.
Face plant from McGee to Eckenrode.
You got to protect the line on that one. And you see Kira Larson giving up a lot of line to Eckenrode.
Larson off of 1 foot, dug out by Ipley. Bump set to Kahn, and they're along on the right side, 15 and 16, and White extending their arms.
Just a good job waiting on that play, too. I mean, they really had to hold and then press. The biggest part about blocking is that you have to break the plane. You have to finish with your hands over the net and directing it back into the court.
Munlin evens it up. Again, the SEC Player of the Week. Had 18 kills last week to go along with 17 total blocks. 9 against LSU, 8 against Kentucky. Kahn dug that one out, overpass. Etheridge couldn't handle it.
And you're seeing, again, the answers that Texas A&M has. It's coming from all over the court. You see McGee get going. Then Reeser comes in and has a great shot. And now Jasmine Baber's back up front with good tip and roll shots.
When you see Larson just take off, you're just like, prepare for liftoff.
Yes. Like the countdown is coming, and Texas A&M still hasn't found the answer for how to slow her down on that quick slide. She's had the most success, but again, it has to be a good pass, really, for Eckenrode to put the ball in her hands.
15 kills on 400% hitting average. And they go to Thader down the line. Amy Nettles cannot believe it.
Well, you see Thader getting up. Looks like it was just in, right over the head of Amy Nettles. Somehow Thader manages to keep it in.
Don't believe me? Just watch me. That's what Kiara McGee says every time she takes a swing.
But there's really no answer for that. Now, if you give her a seam and she's going to swing that hard, I mean, it's coming so fast that it's difficult to make a play on it. Basically, the answer is you got to shore up the seams at the net. You're going to have to get a touch to slow it down or a block.
Thader with the right back at you. So Emily Thader, one of those players that Wayne Kreklow says, just a hard worker. Just sheer will and determination to be the best she can.
Yeah, he's just happy when she has success. And so far, she's had some today. And so has Kiara McGee.
I mean, it's like an instant replay. When she goes up to swing.
I think she was mad that we didn't do a replay of the last kill.
That's
so she was like, I'm going to just show you again.
Again, it was
what I
believe
do
me,
well.
just watch me.
Exactly. I'm going to just do it again one more time before I go back over here to the bench, and I'll see you in 3 rotations. Like,
she used to be a 6 rotation player, but because of passing, that was an issue or concern for her and Lori Corbelli, so she took her out, and she's been more effective in the 3 rotations.
And sometimes it's better for a player to have to focus on just one thing, and right now for McGee, that is the front row, creating kills and being physical with your block.
Riley Sintz gets her hands on it. Once again, they go to Carly Kahn. They call on her. Ipley, the tip from Babers. Third straight attack from Kahn, kept alive by Amy Nettles. Tight to the net. Well, they like the left pin and this rally, but so does Holland Hands.
Great work on the ground playing defense. Amy Nettles had a couple of great digs, keeping it alive and just working until you get the kill. And all night long, the long rally has gone to Texas A&M. They don't have any problems. I mean, they're not getting any errors. They're the ones that end the actual rally.
You got to hit them where they ain't sometimes. And Holland Hands, coach says she doesn't miss often.
Sometimes it takes a little bit of touch, and that's exactly what Hands has on the play to keep it away from Alexa Etheridge. Smart heads-up play by the freshman.
Well, folks, we're calling it Big Saturday because we have 3 Big Ten games for you, all with college football playoff implications. At noon Eastern, number 2 Michigan taking on Michigan State in East Lansing. Then at 3:30, it's Ohio State hosting Northwestern. Then at 7 from Camp Randall, Nebraska, number 7, Wisconsin, number 11. They go head-to-head. All 3 games are on ESPN and also streaming live on the ESPN app. And watch ESPN. You see Nebraska and Wisconsin in the top 11. Well, you think about their volleyball teams,
Yeah.
and they're even higher as Nebraska is number 1, and just behind them is Wisconsin at number 3. Dino Baber certainly happy with what he's seen thus far from his team overall, but especially his daughter Jasmine Baber's 8 kills. And she's got a few kills to go along with that as well. Rather, 7 blocks as well.
Jasmine Baber seems like she's been all over the court. Almost like she doesn't go out for 3 rotations, but the hands up, heads up play on the overpass and the redirect. We saw a couple of blocks. You see her getting out in front of the play a little bit against Alyssa Munlin. And just the hard work, her feet are constantly moving. Even when you think she might be out of the play, she's transitioning and getting right back up. So Jasmine Baber's just having herself a little bit of a night, and a lot of that coming on the defensive end with her blocking and doing a good job penetrating at the net.
Good block touch there from the Aggies. Here's Hands. And Kahn, just like, I'm straight attacking, homie.
Second ball, why not? Because that's the best way to catch a defense off guard if you're able to go over on 2. And Texas A&M has done such a good job of staying in systems, even in transition and even while they're playing defense. That was a good idea by Kahn to go over on 2.
The attack here from the Aggies puts Missouri on top for the moment, 19-18. Here in set number 4, Maria Taylor, Tiffany Green here with you from Reed Arena in College Station, Texas. The Aggies have won the last 4 against Missouri, but the Tigers carrying a perfect 9-0 record in conference play into tonight's match.
And the touch called on that play, so the ball will go right back to Texas A&M. The touch coming at the block. Looks like it hit the top of the block. High hands. Well, if Texas A&M wants to make a push, it certainly seems like now would be the time to build a little bit of cushion, especially at how back and forth this entire set has been. Remember, you have to win by 2, first to 25 here. And here's a point where they could build a little wiggle room.
If the Aggies could pull this out, this would be a huge win for them. But the thing about Missouri is they're just so good. They're deceivingly good.
And they never give up. Never seem like they're out of a match, ever. They're going to have an answer in every play.
It was as if Etheridge's feet were planted in some quicksand, couldn't move there.
And I've seen Missouri switch Etheridge and Carly Kahn. Usually Etheridge plays middle back. I've seen a couple of rotations where they let Kahn play that middle back and read a little bit more and make moves. If you're in left back, you have to dig very hard-driven balls, and I think Wayne Krecklow just trying to find an answer defensively in that back row between his libero and his outside hitter.
Well, Texas A&M has been powered by the junior Kiara McGee, 14 kills tonight, and the success has spelled doom thus far for Missouri.
And that's exactly what Lori Corbelli said. If she gets going, that's what it spells, D-O-O-M, doom. And that is what she has been able to do here, especially in this fourth set. A lot of power, cranking out the kills that her team needs. I know the hitting percentage isn't as high as you'd like it to be. You probably want her hitting above a 250 on the outside, but that's okay. The power that she's bringing, the way that she's swinging with confidence, it seems like she has a reckless abandon about the way she's playing, not double thinking. You want that more from McGee than you do for her to try and take something off of her ball.
This is a group that's the SEC defending champions. And you think about it, this is a Missouri team that hasn't lost since September 10th. That was against BYU. They have gone on an absolute tear, tied for the fourth longest active win streak in the country with Northern Illinois and Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky in the top 25 along with San Diego. So you've won 13 straight matches. You escaped past a very good Kentucky team ranked at number 22. You get over the hump against Auburn and Alabama. And now you're looking at a Texas A&M team hoping to upset you at home.
That's the challenging serves that put Missouri on their heels earlier in this match. Still tough serving coming from the Aggies as that one goes into the net, but it's something that Lori Corbelli said was going to be very important in this one. How challenging can we serve and put pressure on that two-man passing game that Missouri uses in 3 rotations?
Now the tense moments of the match. And while you said Etheridge likes to dig those hard balls driven in the left back, there is just nothing you can do about this.
Yeah, just see Etheridge creeping in a little bit and Kiara McGee taking advantage of that. But it hasn't been easy for Etheridge right now. I mean, it seems like she's gone back and forth from left back to middle back, just trying to find some kind of defensive rhythm right now against Texas A&M.
Etheridge, who typically anchors the Tigers' defense in the back row. Here's Ipley to McGee. Keep feeding the hot hand. Etheridge, Johnny on the spot there. Perego touches it over. And a nice answer on the block from the Tigers. It's 23-all.
That'll get the Zoo going up there in the corner. A huge block. Those are the plays that someone like Fader can kind of come up with.
Who's going to be the leader for this team? Who's going to step up? You've got a Texas A&M team who have won the last 4 and really have controlled the series over the years against Missouri. Meanwhile, the Tigers are trying to do something they haven't done since 2013, which is to go perfect in conference play. And this is a group that has found a way to win despite all the odds. And, of course, Melanie Crow, their leading offensive player, out.
And Sydney Deacon out in the first set, who was the sub or playing in for Melanie Crow. And then you're just trying to figure out how are we going to be on the road with one of the teams that's tops in the league and find a way to get a win? And honestly, you got to be pretty proud of your team if you're Wayne Kreklo. Sitting at 23-23, trying to push this into a fifth set. You have an opportunity working with, like I said, the third string outside hitter. There are times in rotations where Eckenrode is literally using one hitter. She is using one hitter, and still they have found a way to stay in this match. And that's the kind of team that will be undefeated in conference play because you deal with adversity. How are you going to handle it? Sometimes you just got to say, okay, well, let's try not to hurt ourselves. Let the chips fall as they may, and Missouri has hung in there as much as they possibly can here tonight.
Both teams hitting above 200 here in this set, but what does it say for the resolve of this Missouri team and the fight of this Texas A&M team? Coming out battling, kept alive by Etheridge, not sure how, but Babers closing the door.
Great play by Babers. Well, we talked about her having a couple swings up her sleeve. Way to save it to set up match point. Got Coach Babers up in his seat cheering for his daughter, too.
Reina serving for match point for the Aggies. And they go to Perego. Here's Larson. Kahn just pushes it over, and McGee gets a crack at it. The upset complete. Texas A&M.
Great play.
Gives Missouri their first blemish of the SEC play.
Great play by the Aggies. Just taking advantage of a downtrodden Missouri team, struggling with two outside hitters down, but this outside hitter was up and in. Kiara McGee, the great finish. She's done it all night using power and strength to get the victory. Dino Babers loves it on a bye week. He comes all the way from Syracuse to College Station and watches his daughter set up match point, and then the Aggies get the win. And I think this is ultimately the story that we're going to be able to tell about how this SEC was won. A match like this, and then Missouri's win over Kentucky. It's going to be a couple of points that separate the tops of the league. And as you can see, Texas A&M still has Missouri's number.